how are you feeling about the community? What have you seen? What do you need to bring to the other stewards? What do maybe we want to talk about, bounce off each other? And I will start with, I'll pass to Olivia to kick us off.
I got distracted because I just saw what Shabnam posted in the Stewards chat, and maybe that's something that would be cool to discuss with everyone. She asks if a TE won't participate in future hatches, why do they need to become members of the association? So maybe it's something I don't have an easy answer to. I mean, the association is protecting people from anything that might happen to this DAO. So it should be enough, let's say, that participating in one DAO. But I am aware that we have this narrative of like that the Trusted Seed is a group of hatchers for multiple comments. So maybe we could quickly talk about that. And other than that, I think it's been a great week. I was really happy to see Peter coming with Longtail Financial to the labs and wanting to create multiple working groups and doing that in the TEC. I think it's important for us to have the space being used, like being really used for people, for token engineers. And it was cool to see that coming out of the academy, so it feels like things are integrated. I think it feels like everything is in a nice flow. And I'll pass to Santi.
Thank you, Libby. I cannot much more. I feel that the community is growing. It's getting ready for the Hajj. Everything is getting together, and we're just waiting for the big day to start. So that's all I can say. I'll pass it to Chuy.
Thank you, Santi. Well, it's pretty much the same. Just people are excited, and what I personally have been finding also really nice this week is like the ways we're coming up for looking forward to the hatch. There are a lot of practical ideas, and I do think like we couldn't be in a better spirit as a community for what's gonna happen. I'll pass it to YGT.
Thanks, Chuy. Hey, everyone. Likewise, good spirits all around. I've been trying to get all my real-life friends to join the community calls on Thursdays because they're so amazing. So hopefully a couple will join this week. And yeah, very exciting times. There's progress being made on the praise analysis, which I'm happy with. I did find someone who is working on the categorization analysis with the praise, so that's good. Some updates coming there soon. And yeah, it was awesome to have Peter leading that session yesterday. That was just really, really neat. I love seeing people be so autonomous and just take initiative and start whole new. This is such a fractal organization. Like people just come and start whole other branches out of nowhere, but they fit and they make sense, and it's awesome to see that. So yeah, lots of things happening. I think the community's in good spirits. I'll pass over to Griff.
Sorry, I'm very distracted. Do you, is it just heat temperature check?
That's right.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good with the community these days. Like it is this like hurry up and wait situation, at least on my side, you know. So I get a lot of those vibes, but I'm still super stoked about us doing everything right. And yeah, I had a good chat with Z, and he was mentioning like there's kind of like three groups that we can look at. There's the people who are active in the TEC and have a lot of and get impact hours and praise and feel like rewarded, and they'll be participating in the hatch. And then there's people that are token engineers that are active in the space, have decent funding, and they'll be happy to participate as hatchers and have no problem. But then there's this middle group that are like token engineering, public goods, like the people who are going to propose to the TEC and request funding, that they may be underappreciated, or that they feel underappreciated. The people who are like really going to be the ones funded by the TEC. And so that was interesting. That was just some interesting feedback. And I'll pass it to Katie. Did you go?
I didn't. Thank you. Doing great. Feeling super great with a fantastic sync today with T. Wells. Putting out the blog today. And yeah, good going here. Back to you.
And why don't I pass to Zepti?
Thanks, Tam. Yeah, super. It's awesome, and don't take it like for granted, like what I'm saying. But Sam is like super ahead on the work, and this is going awesome. And he was working on showing me the conviction voting dashboard, and it's super cool. Yeah, I know like YGG was working with him a lot too, and it feels ready. It's going awesome. So at least the tech, it seems it's going awesome. So it's cool. And I'll pass it to Nate.
Thanks, Septi. Yeah, I think the community is doing really well. I'm seeing a lot more autonomy in almost every working group, which is really awesome. I see people taking advantage of advice process, and I see, just a lot of people taking the initiative and not so much on the brink of like, what do I do here? Should I go for it? They're just doing it, and it's really awesome to watch. So, yeah, I think it's all good vibes and getting ready for this hatch. So I will pass it to Eduardo.
Thank you. It just warms my heart at some point. The fact that as a consequence of the outreach campaign to people who have not activated trustee membership, 95% of the people, their response was really nice. Like, hey, I didn't want to miss it. Hey, thank you for like it was such a nice feedback from people, and it sort of warms my heart, and it kind of also validates the way, because sometimes I feel we are such in a bubble, like in the sense of we are always most of the times the same people on all the working groups, seeing each other and interacting, and sometimes it's nice to have an external perspective from someone who we don't see often, because it also validates, at least for me, the work that you are doing. And so for me, it's really nice to have this point of externality. And I don't know who hasn't gone, but I will pass it to Juanca maybe.
Thanks, Edu. Well, I feel like Gravity is growing, and that makes me really happy. We have like outreached other communities, and I have received a good response. So I'm happy that last call we had people from OneHive and Metagame, and in this call I invited people from Giveth because they are interested in applying Gravity too. So it's great for them to like get to know the team, the Gravitons, the workflow we're having, and because they are invited for the second training. And nothing. I think I am very excited about everything that is coming, and I am also really excited about the opportunity of going to France, to the HCC. That would be amazing. So yeah. And yeah, I also feel like gravity is like you can feel it, but it's like not so much noisy, and I like it that way because I feel like when there are issues, we're managing them, but they are not affecting the workflow of the organization or being like publicly talked about. So yeah, I think it's being good the way I wanted it, and I will pass to Craig.
Thanks, Juan. Yeah, I liked what Edu said. It is nice to step out and interact with people that we're not seeing so much of and give us a little bit of perspective. So that's been a mutually beneficial effort, I think, for all of us doing that. And yeah, and I've been dropping into random places and working in random capacities, and it seems like internally everything's kind of humming and growing, and like Nate said, people just taking the initiative, which is great to see. So yeah, I don't know, back to you, Tim.
Yeah, awesome, cool. So I'd say there's 3 important things. I'm just going to also repeat what Eduardo said. There's, reaching out to people who haven't activated their trusted seed yet, but have impact hours is pretty positive. People forgot to do it or didn't have the time to do it. And there's a lot of positive feedback from that process itself. And then to what has been mentioned a few in other stewards, there's really this feeling like things are happening here now. There's the TE services who I guess had their inaugural meeting this week, and it's this nice, it just feels really nice. There's bridges being built between the TE community and Token Engineering Commons, which is here to really serve the TE community. So I'm feeling a lot of those initiatives start to be felt, start to happen. But there's one thing I guess I want to bring to all the stewards. It's our Discord. When I look at where like a lot of the action is happening, it's definitely on our working group and our working group channels. And, the community channel and the cafe doesn't really have a lot of action. And, the orientation channel, which used to be called the incubator, also is sort of a little bit, doesn't have a lot of action. And I was wondering if that might feel to people that are new to our Discord, like maybe they don't know how to get in, unless they jump in immediately into a particular working group. So maybe, I don't know, I just wonder what everyone thinks. We don't necessarily have to take the time to do it now, but I wonder if we think it's worth making an effort to be more engaging in the community channel and sort of like, making more conversation with people who post there. That's my thought. All right, so we're moving on to the next thing. And the next thing is a game. We're having a live game mystery. This is so exciting. So is everyone inside the document right now? Can everyone come inside the agenda? I dropped it in our channel. Okay. So I'm going to set a timer for 2 minutes, and I want everyone to write down here, which steward do you think got married today? 2 minutes starts now. Any guesses? Which steward got married today? Nobody even wants to take a guess. Come on, take a stab at it.
Wow. 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 Was not expecting that question.
All right, come on, nobody. We got one answer. So Zeptimus thinks it might be one.
It takes me too long to get there.
Yeah, Marco, Chewy, YGG. Okay, we got Jess. We have 1 minute and 20 seconds left. 1 minute and 20 seconds to guess which steward got married today while half of you were asleep.
Did you say got married?
Yeah.
Wow. Holy cow. Okay.
Yeah, seriously.
All right. I'm gonna let this timer run out. We have 50 seconds left. All right. Craig, you're not even going to take a guess?
Struggling to get into the sheet. Yeah.
You got 25 seconds.
Like, who's not here right now?
Good point.
How do we know the person's not here? Okay, 10 seconds.
I mean,
Now's
your
the
commitment would
chance,
be
Katie, to get
amazing.
your answer.
I'm trying.
All right, time's up. So we have Juan, Septimus guessed. Santi guesses Jess. Olivia guesses Chewy. Griff guesses Jess. Chewy guesses YGG. Nate guesses Marco and Septimus together. That's interesting. Eduardo guesses Jess. Chewy guesses Nate. Sean Gigi guesses Eduardo. Suga guesses herself. And Chewy guesses Griff. Craig guesses Marco. Okay. I'm gonna let the new married person share their news.
It's me.
Congratulations.
All right.
Yeah, I knew it.
Congratulations,
I
Eduardo.
knew it.
Oh, congrats, man.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Yeah.
There's no song for that, is there?
There is no
How
song
do
for that.
Bum, 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 bum.
How did you guess it, YGG? I don't get it.
I just had a feeling, you know, I have this sort of sixth sense, I think. I know when people get married.
What the hell are you doing here the day you get married, man?
Because I was a paperwork. I was signing the paperwork, the civil paperwork. So it was not the proper like celebration thing. But I did get married.
Congratulations, man.
When is the
That's so
party
amazing.
happening?
Congratulations. All right.
In Paris. I'm kidding. Thank you, Tan.
So it looks like maybe, yeah, it's wonderful. So it looks like maybe a lot of people thinking Jess is on the brink. Marco, I thought Marco was married. He has a bunch of kids. He's not married.
Jess and Jeff are taking the weekend off, so I thought maybe there was something.
It's a good guess. And Nate, you are married, aren't you?
Yep.
Okay, so you'd have to get divorced first to get remarried.
We really need to update those community profiles. What was that? The air map or something, you know, back in the day? What was that thing?
Oh, yeah, we took it out, I think.
TC Tinder.
Yeah, Tinder. That's what we need. The Tinder account.
Okay, so congratulations, Eduardo. Really wonderful, special day, and happy you're with us on this wonderful, special day. And then moving on in the agenda, Gitcoin grants round 10. So basically next week starts. I think we've done things for round 9. I saw that you updated the issue, Griff. I'm sorry, I didn't catch it, but I just want to put it on everyone's radar here. And then there's an issue open for it. So if there's something that we need to do for TEC specifically, we should definitely do that. And also there might be other grants that stewards or other people might want to submit proposals for independently.
I honestly think the Gitcoin is a little bit of a distraction. I'm just going to throw it out there. We don't use the money for anything. We can, of course, promote our Gitcoin grant, but I hope that we don't make it scope creep too much. We have the hatch. Let's worry about raising money, you know, in the hatch. That's what I would suggest. But we do have a Gitcoin grant.
We can definitely
And of course, the Common Stack is going to do stuff a little bit. Although I'm also going to suggest to the Common Stack that Heater is taking it on. So we can of course work with Heater.
Yeah, hi. Jess invited me to that Common Stack Gitcoin meeting, and both Livy and I had done the TEC one in the past, and happy to just do it again and keep it, super basic. Like Griff said, I mean, like what did we do with last round's money, Griff? Just sitting there. It's like it's not really a priority. Yeah. Okay. Livy, I'm happy to do it, but if you want to do it as well, whatever works best.
I'm happy to give it to you, Craig. Can support as well.
Craig, that's amazing. Amazing, thank you.
Easy peasy.
It's yours. Spotlight for tomorrow. Nate, how are we doing? Who we got?
I've got about 4 different projects that I'm talking to right now. I'm waiting on confirmation for someone for tomorrow. It's either going to be Radical XYZ or DAP Node. So just waiting on confirmation from them.
Quick question.
Very cool. Excellent.
Quick question regarding the spotlight. Are we inviting the spotlight people to, or like sort of hatch process, or are we just inviting them to spotlight? Like, is there any other conversation with them, or like just taking advantage of having them in the spotlight? Like, are we just like explaining them the hatch also, or just wondering?
Is that a question for me? I'm sorry. So basically, I'm just talking to them about the spotlight, not the hatch. Some people that I talk to, I want them to have enough time to do it. A lot of times we run over, and so I feel weird. They want to feature their project, but 10 to 15 minutes is kind of hard to fit in their presentation. Plus, discussing the hatch and getting in depth with them, unless they attend the entire community call. But I don't know how you feel about that, but the time period.
No, I just think that it will be a nice way to sort of just letting them know that we will eventually have a space for projects. So I think it's a nice space to just letting them know that they could have that information on the radar.
Yeah, I go back and forth on trying to find, because I want to prioritize projects that are looking for funding, but also, highlight projects that are really doing some good work in the token engineering space. And finding that balance is kind of difficult because I'm not sure where are the projects that will need funding necessarily. So yeah, I think better communication between you and I for that purpose could be done on my end. So I will work on that with you.
I have an opinion about that. I think it's somehow nice to just invite someone for something without like anything extra in the agenda, and then they can come and meet the community and have that space and feel the warmth. And I feel like that sparks the organic interest a little bit more.
I agree. I think it's just, I completely agree on that. It's more about referencing, like, hey, just letting you know that this will happen. So it's out there for you also to take in consideration.
Yeah, I wanted to update them, like, we do offer we will be offering funding, but then again, I don't know the entire process of how that's going to work yet, and I don't know if we've had a lot of conversations centered around that, and so I don't want to give out any type of false information or set expectations too high or give them false impressions for anything. So
I would say to that, there is a really great forum post that Jess wrote ages ago, and the title is Who Should Apply for TEC Funding or something like this. And it just sort of gives a summary of like, here are the kinds of proposals that TEC might fund. And if you do want to share that the TEC will be funding projects and some more information about what kind of projects, that's probably the great forum post to share.
yeah, I will share that from here on out.
But I would say I do agree with Livia. I like the idea of there just being an invitation to showcase, sort of, and to Eduardo's point, like we will be funding as well, but not do a full Hatcher outreach or not do too much, just having it happen quite naturally. And so the Stewards weekly update for the forum post. Katie, do you want to just give an update on the blog post for this week? And maybe we'll bypass the creating a list until the next week. But do you want to just give an update on the blog
Okay,
post for this
so
week?
the blog post, which I'm going to publish right after this, actually you mean the items that we're including on there?
I don't know if you just want to share anything about the blog post. I guess it's going out today. Okay,
I waited a little bit longer this time just to make sure I could get some good feedback. Actually, since you mention it, there are 2 working groups who did not provide anything for the wish list. So if those 2 working groups do at the last minute want to add something, maybe I'll mention it also in Omega. So it was Omega and Transparency that didn't offer anything, but I think that's a wonderful list. So that's going on to the blog. We've got the final results of the params. We've got Josie's fabulous visual explainers. Once again, we're posting on how to save your unclaimed impact hours. We also have the conference that Livia and Renzo, Jeff, and Jess were part of, the polycentric governance, and the wish list and the leaderboard. So that's what we've got for now. I think maybe we could regularly, this is just off the top of my head, but maybe we could regularly include this Stewards wish list. That sounds like a good idea if we keep doing that, Thank you.
Yeah, I like the wish list too. Maybe I didn't actually change this in the document, but maybe if there's not a wish list, if there's a, double check with, of course, Transparency with Ivy and Zeptimus and Shebnam. But if there's not anything in the column, maybe just delete it. Don't add it that week.
Okay.
So, Livia, you wanted to raise a discussion around the message from Shebnam right now around time and let's see what her message says that she just posted. Not participating in future hatches, but needing to be part of the association. I would love if we could time box this. I know it's an important discussion, but I'd love to also save time for us going through our working group updates. Do we want to say we spend maybe 5-10 minutes on this, and do you want to lead us through it?
Yeah, actually, I just wanted some guidance on what is the best answer there.
Where is it?
Yeah, I don't have much. It's in the Stewards chat. She wrote, if as a TE you contributed in TEC but won't participate in this or in other CS hatches, why do you need to be part of the association? If the association is set up to provide legal protection for hatchers, why must TE contributors become members? Maybe it is explained somewhere in the forum. And I think my immediate sense is that we chose this in the TEC, in the legal working group, and that there was a process for that we discussed a lot, and there was a voting that took place. And this will offer legal protection for the TEC itself, even if you don't participate in other hatches. But I don't know if that is enough, or it feels a little uncomfortable, this question.
Yeah, and I guess it's because of the data, because it's not because of the money. They could ask for scholarship, right? So
No, I think it's not because of, I think it's more of a maybe an ideological position
Yeah, exactly.
of like that she wants to understand why being part of the association.
It's a legal strategy to protect the builders that are participating in this. That's the reason. And the legal forum post is probably the best link.
Yeah, but she actually wants a more of a philosoph. I think her approach is not the technical answer or this answer. I think she is aiming for a more kind of philosophical maybe, even though like why I'm not allowed to participate without being in the association. If I don't want to have legal protection, I should be able to participate. So I think it's also on that direction. Not necessarily providing this answer because I did the onboarding for her and I provide her this answer. And I think it's more about a deeper approach. She's looking to a deeper situation, I think, rather than just this.
Honestly, although I see completely the need of the association, I have that point of view. It's kind of hard for someone who wants to join and doesn't want to on the association not to be able to join.
Yeah, and I have another question. Like, if someone doesn't want to get protected, yeah, I feel like what Seven is saying, it makes sense. Like, if I don't want to be protected, why should I be?
Or I have protection through another association or another legal entity that's protecting me, or I just don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I mean, go ahead.
I said, doesn't it offer legal protection for the commons itself as well? Making sure that everybody's covered.
Yeah. Not really the commons per se. It's definitely more for individuals. I mean, that's the target. I mean, the commons is kind of just like its own thing.
I think that the liability is for everyone. And I think that that's one of the reasons we decided that everyone had to join, because anything that anyone does, if anyone gets sued, any one of us can get sued. And I think that was the reason we decided that everyone had to join.
And also we can take advantage of the system that's in place for who is allowed in the trusted seed. I mean, obviously Shebnem is value aligned, but in some ways, like, you know, it's nice to have systems in place. And after the hatch, it's only about the hatch. They can participate in the TEC after the hatch. Anyone can participate in the TEC after the hatch. But it's nice to have a system in place without making a bunch of exceptions, you know, and always being like, it's just a lot of extra overhead to have exceptions to every rule. I mean, you know, it's just nice to have a system, and if it is only 99% successful, then that's okay, you know. In the end, she could apply for a scholarship and get it, and you know, it's like, what is the cost of joining the association?
So the answer will be to like invite her to join after the hatch, or like, you know, like if she doesn't want to be part of the association, then she can join afterwards, lunch.
Yeah, but for example, like if we wanted to say like okay, like Semnem have a trust score and we use this same trust score for his address, and then she can go to the hatch because he have the trust score, but without the need to be on this. Like, could it be possible? And if it could be possible, why should not we do that? If she doesn't want to be there, like I feel it makes sense. Like, well, I mean, I feel like we should not. I mean, we are not obligating anyone to participate in the hatch, but at the same time, if she really wants to participate, but she doesn't, like, she has this conflict that she doesn't want to be on the his association, and she already have a trash code. We could also apply this trash code on his address and just make it.
I don't think it's a matter of if it's fair or not. It's a matter of, do I feel comfortable if someone on the hatch is not protected, although I may be protected? Because I don't want anyone on the hatch to have any issue, any legal issue. And we created the association because the way we are creating the hatch, we need everyone to be protected. Because if anyone sues any person and that person is protected, the liability is joined by anyone. You know, you cannot say, no, I'm protected. Yes, you are protected, but I'm going to go after this other one that's not protected. And I don't feel comfortable if someone is not being protected. And that's one of the reasons we decided that everyone had to join. It's not a matter of being fair, not being fair. I understand if I don't want to join, why I can, if I don't want to be protected, why can't I join? And the reason is that you may not want to be protected, but we don't feel comfortable having someone joining not being protected. And that was the reason.
I can tell similar stories. I have an American passport, really sucks, right? Different groups have wanted me to participate in their thing, but I also choose not to do KYC. That's my personal choice. I don't do KYC. So, hey, fine. Then I am excluding myself from participating in these things. That's my choice. I could have been a validator for I wanted to be a validator for Lido, right? And we were all set up, and they're like, oh, the lawyers say that you have to do all this KYC to do it, or like you can't do it. And I was just like, well, I guess I won't do it. But that's my choice. And if they wanted to make exceptions and try to get me in, like they could, you know, I'm sure we could like squeeze the things, but at the same time, you know, it's good to hold boundaries and say this is our strategy and not poke holes in it, you know, for exceptions when we get pushed. So like I lose all sorts of opportunities because of my ideals, and I accept that.
I think that's a very interesting analogy to make. Cool.
So can I just say something real quickly? So in fact, she's asking, can this information be found somewhere? So that's a great explanation, Santi, but the question remains, if somebody wanted to learn, to inform themselves, where would they find that? Maybe we need to put that somewhere.
I think we have that though, right? The legal documentation. Maybe it's the thing we have most documented of all.
Okay.
Maybe we can discuss that next Friday meeting together with Sean. He wasn't here when we had all that post, and he's been very engaged lately. And I think it's worth discussing this on the meeting next Friday and come up with some post or some information, making it.
Cool. That sounds great. That was a very nice discussion. I'm really glad we had that together. All right, now let's do some updates. I was going to set aside 5 minutes so that we could all quietly update the Zen Hub board together, but that's not going to happen because we have 20 minutes left. So we'll go round robin and give some updates. So maybe I'll say, Livia, will you kick us off with updates on SoftGov?
Yes. Sorry, I'm in the wrong board. So, yeah, we did a lot of progress with SourceCred. That's really cool. Mateo deployed yesterday the DAO that's going to do the distribution. So we're going to do the first test now to distribute 10 rep textile. And I think that's bringing us forward with the holistic reward system overview, because praise is also like having its moment. The YGG is updating us into it. And I'm seeing that my issues are a bit out of date. I'm sorry about that. I think it was when I was in the academy and then I didn't review it all. Yeah, the soft it's mostly working on that, and now on the covenant and the proposal that passed. And yeah, those are the things we need to finish before the hatch, and continue to work on the Git book. I'm talking to D-Den. He's also helping in there. And I guess that's it.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm embarrassed
Okay,
by my
excellent.
lack of.
That's why I wanted to give everyone 5 minutes to do updates before we started. I just want to remind everyone, tomorrow is our retrospective and Friday is our planning. So maybe we jump to, YGG, you're not on the board yet, but maybe we jump to an update from Labs.
Yeah, I think I need help getting on the board. I'm not sure exactly what to do. So, yeah, what should I just say what's happening?
Yeah, let me schedule some time where we could do a Zen Hub board sprint onboarding session. But yeah, what's going on in Labs?
Let's see. So, I'm kind of blanking a little bit, but so we had our first weekly session last week. So this is like coordination space. So we've started we now have a space on the forum for the TEC Labs working group. In terms of a manifesto, I just linked to the original forum post that was the TEC Labs, but I think we could make an updated version for that. The format of the weekly on last Friday was just an open session for people to sort of go over what they're interested in and what they want to see coming out of the TEC Labs. So that was great. And so we have this working document now that will be growing and will act as sort of a survey of the community of what people are thinking about and what kind of analysis and topics that they want to be explored. So there was a lot of good coming out of that. There was some conviction voting modeling happening from SEM in collaboration with OneHive. Craig shared some really awesome modeling that's been done in his background on like hydroanalysis and water flows. But I think I'm maybe rambling a bit. So in terms of progress, I think the main focus is the praise analysis, which is like really shaping up. There was one main section that was a bit of a vacuum, and that was the categorization of praises. And I've found someone, Mohammed, in the community here who is working on that, and he's trying to have it finished for Sunday. So I'm going to check in with him. Yeah.
Great, cool. And I guess on the community sync tomorrow, you'll have a chance to do the presenting from Labs working group as well. Just to sort of
I'm going to show off. So I'm going to have the dashboard up that me and Octopus put together on praise analysis, and just show that off really quick to kind of inspire people of the progress that's happening there, and maybe people will come up with some questions that they start thinking about or insights that they want to see on the praise data. And I'll just give a shout out to the Friday sessions that we have and the Sunday hack sessions. Those are kind of the 2 points that people can get involved with the labs. Oh, and then the final thing is the labs is kind of incubating the TE services as that initializes.
Yeah, I saw that. Very cool. Okay, cool. Very good to know.
YGG, can you
Rick,
say
do
what
you want to
TEs
do params and
Yeah, I can absolutely do that really quick too. But what is the services?
TE Services is an initiative that's being led by Peter. So Peter went into the Ecosystem Value Flows course representing Longtail Financial, which is essentially providing TE services. But now we're sort of saying, okay, what are the general patterns here? What does it look like to provide TE services in the ecosystem? And what can we learn from that for the TEC? Like Livy had a really good point. By identifying all the needs of all these people who are looking for token engineering, we can use that to assign value of like what should the TEC be studying and growing. It's if you look at the TE flower, it's the top petal, it's the industrial systems engineering. So Peter's leading an initiative to form working groups. It's like we don't need another DAO, but it's kind of a whole area where there's going to be a collection of working groups that are identifying how to grow this like TE services, just identify what it is and what shape it's going to take.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay, that's super cool and exciting. For me, the big stuff is like Mitch is just killing it on the param spec and the design spec. And Marco, dynamic duo over there. It's looking really good. We're talking a lot about making the inputs for the parameters, basically what the outputs are, and just forgetting about the like what's in the smart contracts, and really focusing on like having people design the outcomes that they want. So that'll be really interesting. And then, of course, not completely forgetting about the parameters, but making the inputs actually the outputs, you know, and the outputs actually the inputs. Ooh. And then on the common swarm side, we did the dress rehearsal. Everything looked good, I think. I actually haven't. Gosh, I don't think I checked yesterday if the impact hours were minted. Let me just check really quick. Yeah, I don't know if the impact hours were minted correctly, so I'll have updates tomorrow on Common Swarm. And there was one more parameters issue. Oh, major update on the on how to approach the scope. Like one of the biggest problems that we're facing is there's too many parameters. There's too many things that people have to configure. And one idea was originally just to just take it out. Take it out completely. Like, let's put Celeste in the hands of gravity. Let's put like certain parameters in the hands of the technocracy right here, you know, and a few other, and of course with advice and stuff like that. And with discussions with Zargam and a few other people, Marco and things, we're gonna actually do that still, like have the technocracy and gravity and SoftGov say parameters, but then hide those in an advanced tab, like have a drop down so they're still configurable. They're just not part of the like major scope of designing the system. It's like these certain parameters don't have a lot of impact on the whole design, so we can hide them, but and have strong defaults basically, but still make them configurable. So that's going to be the approach. And yeah, I'll pass it back to you, Tam, to pass it to someone.
Cool. I think Comms has really interesting updates this week. So Chewy, would you like to give an update and Nate contribute what you have as well?
Yes, Tam. This week we got done with our community-wide video. I was just talking to Sam today about next week starting with the Hatch front-end page with the included video while we finish production for the animation video. We also have a lot of the Hatch front-end has been doing pretty well, so I think we're almost there. We are formalizing our Twitter strategy, and I think I don't know if there's still an issue, Septi, for what we're doing regarding Axis and Jam and all of this. But yeah, if you could tag comments on that, I would appreciate it. And What else is on the board? The audit. Is it's almost finished. I need to add some stuff to the manifesto. But actually, I just set up a one-on-one with Septi tomorrow morning. So yeah, hopefully we can close this issue for tomorrow's retrospective, and yeah, set a future audit for next time. What else is there? Twitter, yeah, I went. Yeah, I think that's it. And also some of the swag, like we had like some initial designs and proposals, but we are still tweaking those a little bit for everyone to be more comfortable with the final design. And yeah, I don't know. Nate, would you like to add something? Oh, wait. Yeah. Articles. We're working on the article that C requested. I'm working with that with Manu. And Mitch just mentioned to me that Noggin, who has been contributing a lot to Common Swarm, is interested in writing also. So we're gonna give it a try for doing an article on params, but for the Commons upgrade, similar to what we did for the hatch style params. And yeah, that's it for me. Nate, would you like to add something?
Yeah, so Durgadas and I have been really working hard at the HubSpot and configuring it for use within the TEC. I will be sending out a newsletter format that I have for the HubSpot. I'll send it right after this meeting. I will need you guys to verify emails for me to send it to you. So if you see a verification email, please approve it, and then you will receive the newsletter. And then DM me if you have any feedback or changes that you would like to see in it. But outside of that, yeah, we're trying to integrate Twitter as well and a bunch of back-end stuff with HubSpot. So trying to get HubSpot to be the platform that we kind of center our efforts around. So yeah.
Cool. Maybe I'll just add one more thing, because it's concerns the stewards and communications. We have been looking at or talking about, we've had some feedback that we're a very high attention community, and it's difficult to sort of know everything that we're doing unless you're in the meetings or on our Discord. And it's some of the feedback is that the forum posts, like those weekly digests from our forums, are quite nice for people to just be able to be like, oh, this is what TEC is doing this week, and clicking on any of the forum posts that are interesting. So we'll have a Stewards weekly update, something that's like each working group, each steward will share news similar as we do on the community sync every Thursday, or in the blog post every 2 weeks, can sort of share what's new in the TEC. So it's really very, up to date. And every week there's, and this will go out in the digest that people can see, and hopefully we can be lower the attention cost for knowing what's going on in the TEC. Chewy's been doing that for Common Swarm, of course, for a very long time. So he has some really good ideas, and we'll work on a template with Katie, who will likely be doing the post every week. All right, so let's see, legal. What have we got legal?
Not too much. We have to update the documents. I already updated the hatch proposal, and we'll go over the rest of the documents to make sure everything is updated with the params. And I'll also like to discuss bring this point that we discussed about Sepnem, point of view on the legal membership of the association. I think it's good to clarify that and maybe come up with some post on the forum about it. And that's basically about it. The rest of the things are not critical to the hatch at all, and we'll just keep moving forward.
Cool. And Hatch Outreach, would you like to kick us off with that, Eduardo?
Sure. Basically, we are trying to finish it up, the goodbye document. I like that name, which is the closure document for the Hatcher Outreach working group. Trying to setting up a meeting with SEPTI to receive feedback from transparency, and then we'll be ready for next sprint. And also doing the Scout, which is an idea launched by Shui, which is basically a group of people who will sort of have a space within the Hatch Outreach to try to tackle this community outreach, basically, to other people. And then we are also doing the outreach campaign to people to activate their membership. So we have done everyone above 14 impact hours. So we are now tackling the rest of the spreadsheet, and I think that's pretty much all.
Yeah, I think that covers it. So I'm going to jump right to Zeptimus and transparency.
Thanks, Tam. Yeah, on the board, like, we were working on some issues that they are not in the board. I'm sorry for that. And we're working, like, tomorrow probably it's going to be out a forum post. Like, I know Chui was talking about this jam thing. And the idea is, like, to have a discussion in the forum. So we will decide it as a community, how we want to approach it, and what are the good steps and the bad things, and maybe we design a system to, like, because right now we don't have a system to give out to credentials to anyone, and every time we want to give, we would have to give credentials. We are everything we just do it because I mean, until the moment we didn't have any problem. But honestly, we don't have a process, and we working on that as a group. And yeah, the forum post is going to be up probably tomorrow morning CET, and yeah. And then also we are I'll update the board like before the sprint planning. We're also working on like we're starting to draft the internal comms role. Like we're brainstorming. We didn't have a full overview of the role, but we were brainstorming on the last call, and yeah, we will keep working on that. And yeah, another issue we have to work, like we already updated the Gitbook on the transparency part, but we want to polish it and make it like be more nice. And yeah, that's are the things we're working right now. Back to you, Tom.
And that takes us to the top of the hour. Thank you, Zeptimus.
Oh, awesome.
So, hey, thanks everyone for another great Stewards meeting. And yeah, congratulations again, Eduardo. And see you all probably tonight or tomorrow.
See you later, guys.
Thank you. Congrats,
you.
Eduardo.
Congrats, Edward.